so we did some more, development of like our products and everything, but I'm just like, I'm not really into like, at that time I'm not really into like being a manager at a big media company.
Yeah.
So, I was friends with MG and people at TechCrunch, and I watched that whole implosion, and I'm like, that is a shame. Like, they covered my startup. They cover everybody, or we try to. And they're really, Arrington was there for Silicon Valley before any other reporters gave a shit.
Yeah.
And, it's really, for all of its ups and downs and issues over the years, it's really, I felt it was an important institution. A lot of people feel that way. And so I came, I joined as a writer. Schoenfeld twisted my arm. I'm like, at first I was like, can I do freelance? Can I work for 6 months?
Yeah.
I really need a vacation. And I actually walked in there thinking that Schoenfeld and Sarah Lacy were going to be co-editors. And I would be like able to be a writer for a year and then go figure out something else to do and take a vacation.
Yeah. So this is fall. This is like November 2011.
Yeah, November of 2011.
And then by January, February of 2012, which is like not that long ago. I mean, what was going on at TechCrunch? What was happening on the inside 9 months ago?
Most of the I don't know. I didn't know a lot about a lot.
Were you tied up somewhere, or what do you mean?
No, I was like, I was back being like a rank and file guy. Like, I'm a writer now, and I was obviously like thinking about it and talking to people. I'm like, this is not a good situation. I think what I should say.
Well, we are in AOL, so yeah.
No, I have my issues with AOL too. I'm happy to talk.
There's
about
a camera piped right into Tim Armstrong's Palm Pre, so.
Apparently he was happy with Disrupts, so I got some
So you're
place
good.
to burn.
Okay. Burn it now.
Give me a second. Gotta warm up. So the whole Pando thing happened. A lot of us talked to Sarah about going there. At that point I was like so uncommitted to a lot of things where I was like, I'm not ready to go be like, do the startup blog thing again.
Yeah.
I've done that twice and it's tough. And we were just watching a bunch of staff leave, and there are obviously a lot of issues. I feel Eric Schoenfeld's a good guy, and I feel it's tough what happened to him, but it's also
It is what it is.
It's also really hard to run a Silicon Valley oriented site from New York. And like
Yeah.
that's an issue for anyone who tries to do it, no matter how good you are. So there was a bunch of fissures, and one late February, I'm like, okay, I assume this is going to fall apart.
I mean, when you say that,
leave.
does that mean from like a traffic standpoint? Was it just dropping
it's
off?
hard to say. Traffic it dropped off a lot from the previous fall because there was.
But that's what happens, right? Isn't it? Doesn't it kind of ramp and then drops at the beginning of the year?
I mean, the other thing about like TechCrunch had like absolutely like crushed it. Like he's always on fire, but like he was like working full time like towards the end of 2011. All of the Apple stuff going on at Apple, TechCrunch's own drama, like there's this whole like tornado of stuff happening.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was just like more and more like key people leaving. So we were kind of stuck with the situation of like, not everyone can leave, or I'm leaving too, you're leaving too, and so the writers would talk to each other, and.
And why are people leaving? Is it the TechCrunch had lost its vision, had lost its focus, or?
I mean, it was some of the AOL stuff. It was just like a bunch of internal fighting. It happens at every organization. I don't think I've talked about this publicly before, and I'm not sure how much I should be saying.
We're not filming.
Whatever.
So.
Yeah, you are. What's that?
Audio good, John?
So it just like degenerated into like a lot of fights that didn't need to happen. And where it got to me was like I had more, my very limited editing experience at VentureBeat and Inside Network turned out to be more than what like other people had in the room who were left. And literally like one weekend, you know, like I found out my grandpa had lung cancer, and I went to visit him in Arizona, and I'd found another startup guy who I wanted to work with, and I was like on the plane back, it was like that Monday or Tuesday, I was like drafting this whole proposal to this guy about like what we could do, and I was like assuming TechCrunch was screwed. And you know, that Saturday I get a call from a guy at AOL who's like, hey, like it's definitely not working at as is.
Yeah.
So we're gonna make a change. Do you want the job? And I was like, and I was, you know, there was enough support from like people I knew. I knew a lot of writers. I was friends with a lot of writers from over the years, where I felt like it was better to try to fix it up than to just let it die. I felt like Silicon Valley needed it, and like